Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing another 3 looks with one palette, and today I am going to be doing the 3 looks with the Colourpop Fortune palette, which looks like this. So for their birthday month they launched 2 new palettes, the Fame and the Fortune palette. I do have an express review on both of the palettes, so I will put it up here for you guys so that way you guys can check it out, or maybe it's up here. I think, yeah, it's up here. So I decided to do 3 looks with both of the palettes so that way you guys can see how versatile they are. Colourpop, you guys already know, is the way to my heart. Their products are absolutely phenomenal. I have yet to find an eyeshadow palette or product from them. Well, actually that's a lie. I think there's only 2 products from them that I don't really like, but overall their eyeshadows are absolutely phenomenal. So I was really excited about this palette because even though it kind of looks a little bit boring and it looks like something we've seen before, I really like how versatile this palette is. I've used this palette quite a bit actually. I think I've used this palette maybe 3 or 4 times before actually using it today. And I use this like to travel with because I feel like I just can make so many different looks work out of this. And since it is, you know, more of the warm tone neutrals, it has those pretty golds and oranges and purples and whatnot. I really like this palette a lot. I do wish it had a mirror up here so that way it would be a little bit easier to travel with, like the Perception palette from Colourpop x Shayla, Makeup by Shayla. But it's all good. I still make this palette work. I really love the packaging of it so much. I absolutely love how all 3 of these looks came out. They are definitely perfect for the summertime. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and without further ado, let's jump right into the 3 looks that I created with this one palette. So we're starting off with the Colourpop Fortune palette, which looks like this, and as you guys can tell, I absolutely love this palette. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the shade here called Wiser, and I'm going to go ahead and take that on a Morphe M532 brush and go ahead and apply that into my crease. So this color, I like it because it's really light, but it's very pigmented when you apply it on the eyes, so it's a really pretty coral shade. Then to blend that together, I'm taking the shade Ben with that same exact brush, and then I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Nouveau and go ahead and take that on this Morphe flat shader brush and go ahead and apply that onto my lid. And I've been obsessed with like coral and gold eyes. I don't know, I've been doing this all summer long and I absolutely love how it looks. So then I'm just going to go ahead and blend everything together. And then I'm taking the shade here called Oracle, and I'm going to go ahead and take my finger and apply that right to the very center of the eye. And this is just going to create a little bit more depth and dimension. You see how much more dimensional this eye looks like compared to the other eye that looks very flat. So then I'm just applying that on the other eye as well with my finger. And then I'm going to go ahead and wipe off this bake so that way our nose can look nice and snatched. And then I'm taking the shade Oracle again, and I'm going to go ahead and try this as a highlight. As I was applying it onto my cheeks, I found that it doesn't really work with fluffy brush. It works better with a denser brush. So I decided to pair a different Colourpop highlighter on top of it instead. So I'm taking the shade called Au Revoir from the Luster Dust collection, and I'm gonna go ahead and take that right on top, and you guys see instantly how it just really makes the highlight pop. So then I'm taking the shade here from Colourpop's Blotted Lip. This is the original Blotted Lip, and I think this is in the shade Sucker. And then as always, I'm taking my Tarte Gifted mascara, and this is what it looks like. And then I'm taking the Oracle shade and the shade called Cream, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that onto the inner corner of my eye to really make it pop. And this is the finished first look. For the second look, we're going to go ahead and start off with the shade Ben, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that onto the crease. And it looks a lot lighter in the pan, but it is really nice and dark. So then I'm taking the shade called Trove with my MAC 224 brush, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that into the crease to start deepening it up a little bit. But I'm making this a light wash, so that's why I'm using a fluffier brush, so that way I don't get as much pigmentation. And then I'm taking the shade Trove in 500 on this crease brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that onto my outer V. And this is going to start deepening up that outer crease area. And then I'm taking the shade here called Jackpot, and I'm going to apply that right on top with a M507 from Morphe. And it is a shimmery shade, but it works. I feel like it makes everything blend in together nicely. Then I'm taking the shade called Racks, and I'm taking that on this flat shader brush and just applying that on the center of my eye, leaving the inner part of my eye empty. Then I'm taking the shade called Miser, and I'm taking that on this flat shader brush again. You guys can see how pretty and dimensional this color is. In some lights it looks blue, and in some it looks kind of reddish. So I really like this shade a lot. And then I'm just blending everything together with a Colourpop crease brush. And then I'm taking the shade called Strike It. It's the darkest shade in the palette, and just taking that on a small little brush to go ahead and define my lash line without actually using eyeliner. It's just going to make it look a little thicker and make everything all go together. And I'm using the cream shade and applying that onto my brow bone. Then I'm taking my Ardell Demi Wispies, and this is what they look like. Then I'm taking this really pretty Colourpop highlighter and just applying that onto my inner corner of my eyes. And I will link everything down below for you guys because I don't remember the names of everything right now. Then I'm taking this NYX Vintage lip liner in the shade, well, it's called Vintage. It's a suede lip liner in the shade Vintage, and I'm just applying that onto my lips. And then I'm taking the Mented Cosmetics Pretty in Pink lipstick, which is my favorite, and I'm just applying that right on top, and it makes this really pretty nudish berry color. And this is the final look for the second look in the palette. For the third and final look, we're going to start off with Mold Problems. And you guys make sure that you guys always tap off the excess on any shade, because a lot of eyeshadows nowadays are very powdery. Then I'm going into the shade Richie or Riche, and I'm going to go ahead and take that on a Morphe M443 brush, and I'm just applying that onto the inner and outer corner of the eye to create a nice base for a halo eye. And you guys already know a halo eye is one of my favorites, so I'm just blending everything together, make sure it looks nice and seamless. Then I'm taking the shade Money Trees, and I'm taking that on this tapered pointed brush, and I'm going to go ahead and apply that onto my inner and outer corner. This is a shimmery shade once again, but it's not super shimmery, like it's not glittery, so I feel like it blends in really nice and it doesn't make the eyes look muddy. I do wish this palette had a little bit more darker matte colors, but anyways, we're gonna go into the shade Fortunate, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take that on a M507 from Morphe, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start deepening out that inner and outer corner. And then I'm taking the shade Stacks, and I wet it with a little bit of my Mario Badescu spray, and I'm just taking that on this really tiny small shader brush, and I always start off in the center and just kind of wisp it back and forth to blend that out. And I find that this is the best way to do a halo eye. So I'm doing the same thing on this eye, kind of make a line right down the middle and then go side to side, and that just blends everything together. And then I'm taking the shade Racks, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that inwards towards that golden shade, and that's just going to blend the darker shades with the lighter shade. Then I'm taking my favorite Kiss number 11 lashes, and I'm just going to apply those. Then taking the shade Oracle again and putting that on my inner corner. I really like this shade for an inner corner highlight. I think it really makes the eyes pop. Then I'm taking the shade BFF3 from the Colourpop Lippy Pencils. You guys know this is my favorite lippy pencil shade. And then I'm taking the Luxe lipstick in the shade Foolish, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply that right on top. And this is the third and final look. I hope you guys did enjoy these 3 looks with one palette. I really loved all 3 looks. I can't say that one is more favorite than another, but if I had to choose, it would probably be this third look. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.